Azeron Keypad, Razer Tartarus. Which one should you go with? Should you go with either of them? Let's find out. So, we have these devices here, and we're going to find out which one you should pick, if you should pick either one of them. So, if you've been following my channel, you know that I've been playing heavily with the Azeron Keypad. I did want to check out the Razer Tartarus, as I am an affiliate for both of these. So if you like this video, if you like these devices and you want to check them out, the link will be in the description below and linked in my bio for you to use my affiliate code for either one of these devices. So let's jump right into it. So the Azeron Keypad, 29 mappable buttons. If you go with the original, 30 with the Cyborg 2. Tartarus, 20 mappable buttons with a D-pad on the side that can boost that up to potentially 25. So you have software that comes with both of these. You have mappable buttons that come with both of these. What's the difference? Obviously, ergonomically, you can see a very clear difference with the Azeron being kind of shaped around the hand, and it's ergonomically meant to fit the hand. You can completely shift how these come up, down, and shift around, all around. And I loosen these up so that we can do that. So they're not usually that loose. You can move where the buttons lay so that you can really comfortably have the best experience as you're playing. There is an analog stick, a true analog stick here, that is used to move around, and that can be mapped to WASD, that can be mapped to a true like 360 analog, and then this thumb button as well. I usually map this to like escape or something like that. But yeah, so this is an ergonomic design meant for gaming. Tartarus, very similar, right? Extremely well structured Razer device, meant for ergonomics, meant for people that come from a PC gaming background. If you're used to the controller, if you're used to the keyboard, then this is going to be a very easy transition. Probably going to be your best choice. You get an additional analog here. You get an additional analog here that comes with this bad boy, and you get the mouse track roller here and 20 mappable buttons, right? Extremely ergonomic as well. As far as the adjustability, you can take this off and shift it back if your hand is bigger. However, if your hand's a little bit smaller, you're going to have to move your hand across this thing. And if you don't already have a good familiarity with the button layout, you're probably going to have a tough time with that. So that's just something that you should consider. Why should you get either one of these? So if you're a PC gamer, or if you're moving into the gaming space, if you want to upgrade your gaming experience, these are going to be amazing devices. If you're coming from a console perspective, then I would go with the Azeron. If you're coming from a PC perspective, as we just mentioned, I would go with the Tartarus, and I'll explain why in a bit. Both of these come with their own proprietary software. We'll go through the Azeron first. So here's the Azeron software, and there are 6 onboard memory slots if you go with the Cyborg 2. There are only 2 if you go with the Cyborg. Still, that means that you can map these out, unplug it, plug it into any other functional device that you use for gaming, as long as it supports mouse and keyboard, and use this bad boy right out of the box. And you have the little button right here that you press to shift the actual mappings. All right, so there's that. How easy is this to map out? Actually, very easy, right? So you just click on whatever button layout and it's aligned. And I'll go back out here. So you can see as I'm pressing buttons on the keypad, you can see it lighting up there, moving around the thumbstick, and you can see that lighting up there. So it's pretty straightforward there, all right? So what else? When you're clicking in here, if you want to map something, you can go single press, long press, double press. Keyboard, you can go mouse input, joystick, as I mentioned before. You can put macros in this thing, layering, input sequences, a lot of different options for you here. I love the macros things because if you're a Helldivers player and you are tired putting all of those inputs every time you want to get some new devices and get your equipment and get some reses, I'm not saying you should do it. I'm saying you can do it. So that's what this is like. So Razer, when you plug in your device, it pops up right in your Synapse software. And this is the same software that's used for all of your devices, your mouse, your other keyboards, your cameras, all of it. So it is an integrated ecosystem. That is a plus, all right? So with this software, you'll see very similar layout. You click on the button, you have keyboard function, you have joystick analog, controller analog, you have all of these different options, right? To shift around. One thing that I will note about this, it's very simple. You click, you pick one of these, you type it in, you save, and then it's locked in. This software does not have any onboard memory. So this is true to PC and the PC that you have. You obviously can export your actual button mappings and then pull it up into a different device, but there's a number of additional steps versus having the onboard memory on the Azeron. So this one, you do need the software open the entire time, and you do need it to be running on the device that you have actually locked the mappings to. So there's that. Another thing is that when you clicked on the analog here, I was having a tough time on this one, y'all. I had a tough time with having the analog run like a true analog. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna have a sound check here. That is actually the analog, which sounds more like a D-pad to me. Nothing wrong with that, right? But I did find that it's a little bit more rigid, and there was a little bit of the breaks when I was trying to play the First Descendant. Apologies for not having the actual gameplay up here. Unfortunately, we were having a bit of trouble finding a game that was apples to apples when it came to the analog itself. So I chose to just go with the pure review here, but you can check out my channel for some gameplay on both of these devices. So that's one thing that I do want to note is that the analog here was really tough. Also, macros are very difficult to set up with this, I found. It's not straightforward, and that's one of the things that I kind of ding this one on. I will say that in general, what is Moki going to go with? Moki's going to go with an Azeron, right? I have Azerons. I love the Azeron. We're probably going to put this Tartarus that got sent out to us. We're probably going to put it up for a giveaway soon. So if you are a PC player that really does like this type of gaming setup, then you might be in luck. We're probably going to have a giveaway for this soon. Not because it's a bad device, but because it's a bad device for me. And that's one thing that I want to talk about. Which one should you get? It's going to depend on your situation, right? If you are a console gamer, that comes from a console background, if you are using the device purely for gaming, this is going to be the device for you. If you want to upgrade your gaming experience, you have a purely haptical response, which means that just like you don't have to look down to see where X is, where A is, where R2 or L2 is, you're not going to have to look down to see where the buttons are here, right? You will be able to remember just based on the haptical response. It really is less of a keypad and more of a game controller for PC. If you are a person that struggles with typing on the keyboard, you're probably not going to go with the Tartarus. If you are a person that has always been a PC gamer, you're going to love the Tartarus because not only does it give you that same keyboard layout, it gives you more real estate on the desk that you have. Like, look at this. This is way smaller than your traditional keyboard. And plus, you do have the option of having that D-pad analog and the mouse scroller right here on the device. So both of these are absolutely excellent devices, excellent choices. If you want to grab any of them, again, links in the bio below. Let me know in the comments, which one would you go for? Are you going to go for the Azeron? Are you going to go for the Tartarus? Are you going to go with either? Are you going to stick to your controller? What are your thoughts on this type of next-gen devices in the gaming world? Let's argue about it in the comments. Until the next one, take it easy, y'all.